game. The Dogs start in Clemson territory at the 47. Here's a pitch to Nick Chubb, however, who's in at tail. Chubb breaks one tackle, breaks another, trying to pull away from another. He does. There goes Chubb. Chubb down the near sideline. He's got to go. Give him 6. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, the right side of this offensive line right now starting to take over. Greg Pike, Colton Houston, Nick Chubb. You put him in the football game, give him an opportunity, breaks through tackles, and then off to the races. Pretty impressive group, and pretty impressive here what we're seeing in the second half of this football game.
He broke about 3 tackles. They're trying to pull him down, Nick Chubb, by his big, strong, thick legs, and that's just not going to happen. Shotgun formation on 2nd and 12 for the Dogs from the Tennessee 20. 1:26 to go in the first half. There's the snap to Mason. Hudson with time, going to throw. Caught by Chubb. Chubb at the 10, at the 5, makes a move, dives, touchdown, Chubb!
What a great catch there by Chubb. An angle route coming out of the backfield. Ball perfectly placed by Hudson Mason. And probably the last thing that the Volunteers expected Chubb after the thumb surgery. You don't expect him in the passing game. But sure enough,
Chubb straight ahead, got the first down and more. Chubb to the 20, breaks the tackle, 10, 5, touchdown! Chubb said, give me 6 more with 28 seconds to go. Give him 6 for the score. Toss to Chubb, here he goes, 10, 5, 3, pylon! Touchdown, yes!
Lets it go again. Had an Arkansas defender that was getting close to him. We've got to be on time to not hold the football.
High formation, Christian Payne in at fullback. He blocks for Chubb. Chubb breaking tackles. Chubb 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Nick Chubb.
Boy, what a great job by David Andrews, Brandon Cablano. Nice hole for Chubb to run through. Didn't get even looked at or close to touch until he got to the second level. And we've talked about the power of Nick Chubb. How about the speed right there?
Huge gaping hole on the left side of the line of scrimmage. Payne was the fullback. I don't know who was blocked ahead for the Dogs. Moving left. They run Mitchell in motion. Hand off Chubb. Nick straight ahead. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown. More Chubby time for the Dogs.
Boy, nice job there by Greg Pike and David Andrews. Nice hole for Nick Chubb to run through and then just stretched out and dove it into the end zone.
He just runs through tacklers, grabbing around the legs. There's no way you're going to bring him down like that.
The Gators very good on the outside at corner. We need a big game from our tight ends.
Blazevich with his 10th catch of the season. Handoff Chubb. Holy makes a man miss. He breaks to the outside. Chubb to the 30. Chubb to the 20. Cuts back in. Breaks the tackle. Another at the 10. And into the corner. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. He left Gators in his wake.
Boy, did he ever. We've got a Gator down on the field, injured as well as Chubb was running through people. But Colton Houston, Greg Pike just absolutely collapsed. The left-hand side of the Florida offensive line, nobody was on the edge. Nick Chubb immediately got outside, and then it was just that big old boy rolling downhill, running through a couple of Gators. Sells closer to the goal line.
3 receivers left this time. We're between the hash marks. Mason pump fakes, now rolls to the right, running, looking to the end zone, and tipped up in the air and then caught off the tip by Nick Chubb for the touchdown. Chubb, the freshman, caught the tipped ball in the back right corner of the end zone for the score.
Well, good job there by Hudson Mason of buying time. Everything was covered up, rolled out to his right. Malcolm Mitchell, scramble rules, was bringing that from the sideline back inside. That's who Hudson was trying to get the football to. A lot of Gators around him, though.
Just on this drive. They're in the red zone again. A huge hole for Chubb. Breaks a tackle. 20-0 Georgia.
For a little bit of quiet, we're going to go for it on 4th down. We're 7 of 9 on 4th down conversions this year. 78%. Power formation. Chubb's the tail. We've got 2 fullbacks in. Now we shift one over. Mason hands it to Chubb. He's got the first down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's got the touchdown.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the big boys up front are just going crazy. David Andrews right now is sprinting down the field. He's still running, finally coming off the sideline. But one of the questions that you have to ask, and the reason that Mark Richt called timeout, you're playing Auburn. You know they can put points on the board at will. Do you go for it? And you got to get 7 points when you get down there. Great block by Greg Pike.
And the post game is coming up in just a little while, immediately following tonight's locker room show. 1st and 10 from the Auburn 11 for the Dogs. Handoff Chubb. Chubb at the line of scrimmage. Breaks one tackle. Breaks another. Angles back. Touchdown. Chubby time. Chubby time. Touchdown. 33-7 Georgia.
Boy, that's all Nick Chubb right there. The power of that young man. It has been on display all night long. What a great individual effort, breaking through tackles and just his will to get into the end zone. Fantastic to see.
The Dogs have just taken the souls of Auburn and just stomped all over. 15-yard line. Snap to Mason in the shotgun. Handoff Chubb again. This time 25, 30, 35, 40. Chubb to midfield, far sideline. Chubb to the 30. Chubb to the 20. He's outrunning the defense. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. In the shotgun. Chubb in the backfield as well. Handoff Nick Chubb at right tackle. Makes a move at the 5 and trots into the end zone for the score. 4th and goal from the 1.
Boy, the Dogs not even thinking about it right now. They are lining up and they're going to go for it again. They know the importance of getting touchdowns in these situations.
Handoff Chubb. Walks into the end zone. Chubby time. 3 minutes into the game. Yes, sir.
Boy, what a great job there by David Andrews and Brandon Cablano up front. It just completely dominated their guys up front. Nick Chubb walking that into the end zone. You couldn't have scripted it any. All the linebackers playing man-to-man. It was too deep man.
Chubb breaking through tacklers. He's going to go all the way. Chubb, he broke about 3 or 4 tackles and went into the end zone, standing up, running straight between the hash marks. Ramsey under center. Here's a toss to Chubb. Chubb looking for running space. Bounces outside. He's going to score. Holy smokes. Yes, sir. He had nothing, and he got 6 out of it. Oh, wow. Blazevich and Harris, twin tight ends in the ball game right now, along with Quavon Hicks. I formation. Georgia was 2nd down and 4. Handoff, or 3 actually. Handoff to Chubb. Big hole at the 10. He cuts back to the 5. Scampers into the end zone. Touchdown, Nick Chubb.
Boy, great hesitation there by Nick Chubb. That play designed to go off tackle, but we got a huge push from Greg Pike and Brandon Cablano, just pushing the line of scrimmage to the left. Hesitation there by Nick Chubb. He just cuts it back a little bit and walks into the end zone.
Blazevich in tight. He lines up just off the left hip of Jay Rome. Chubb's in the backfield. Lambert will go under center now. 2 receivers right. They'll keep it on the ground. Chubb, big hole straight ahead. 20, 15, 10, 5. Count it down. Touchdown. Yes, sir.
Boy, and I think that was a check at the line of scrimmage by Grayson Lambert. You think about, he's been on campus for 8 or 9 weeks right now and able to direct the offense like that. Gets up, changes the play. He brings Jeb Blazevich from outside, puts him in the wing position right off the line of scrimmage. Direct.
I'm at the edge of my and then you'll find that everything you learned in this is just a pile of worthlessness.
Blazevich in motion to the near side, out of the eye. Here's Chubb. Handoff, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Chubb!
And not a white jersey laid a hand on number 27. Great job up front.
Lambert with a nice pocket, dumps it off on a screen to Chubb. Chubb to the 10, to the 5, and a waltz into the end zone. That was like a stroll through the park. He had such terrific blocking on the left side. That screen set up beautifully, and Chubb with the touchdown, and the Dogs lead it 9-0. Welch is the fullback. Handoff Chubb. Straight ahead into the end zone. Touchdown. 2nd down for the Dogs. Handoff Chubb. He'll try to pick up the 1st and more, and he does. Breaks free at the 45, 40, near sideline, 30, 20. Kiss him goodbye. He's gone. Touchdown, Chubb. Grayson Lambert, the quarterback, handoff to Chubb. There he goes, burst straight up the field. Chubb might go on this one. He's across the 50. He's down to the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. He is gone. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. And the lead here in this opening game of 2016.
Nice push on that play there by Brandon Cablano. Just a draw play right behind the back of our experienced center.
Dogs huddle. We've got Isaac Nauta and Charlie Warner and Jeb Blazevich all in the ball game. 3 tight ends. Chubb's in the backfield. Lambert's under center. Hand it to Nick. He darts left, cuts back right into the end zone, I think. Yeah, touchdown. Chubb is back.
Boy, the faithful in red and black are loving what they're seeing right now from number 27, Nick Chubb. And the entire team jumping up and down is back right now. What a journey back, and what a great first quarter for Nick Chubb.
Heck of a drive by Georgia, 79 yards, most of it on the ground with Nick Chubb. So nothing eye-popping from any of the quarterbacks. Dogs go with 3 tight ends. Chubb's in the backfield, I formation with Payne the full. Toss back to Chubb. He runs this way, 45, 50. Carolina territory. Chubb's going to town. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, I think, yeah. Chubby time, baby.
Welcome back, Nick Chubb. It is good to see you, young man. Nick Chubb on the sweep, breaks through a couple of arm tackles from Carolina, and then off to the races on his 32nd carry. Goes north of 50 yards for pay dirt, and may just have iced this one.
Over 200 yards in his return, a 55-yard run for the score. 32-24 with the point after coming. 232 yards for Chubb. 220.
A long one when you're throwing from the far hash in college football, showing off the arm strength there of Jacob Eason, a little hitch and go, and he let it out there for his guy to go get.
36 yards. Here's a toss to Chubb on the right side. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. A 6-yard run into the right corner.
We talked about coming in, flawless execution, and boy, on that first drive, everything was about as good as you wanted to see. Nice job on that last one. Greg Pike again outside leading the toss sweep. Jason Stanley, good job on the
drive. Alden Bynum back in at one of the tight end spots. Blazevich went out. We run out of the eye. Chubb's back in. Nick with the handoff. Hesitates. Finds his blocks. Nick to the end zone. Touchdown. What a run by Nick Chubb. Patiently waited for the gaps to open up. Followed his blockers and then darted right into the end zone for a 15-yard score.
Boy, spot on there. It was patience at the point of attack by Nick Chubb. Waited just enough and then broke through one arm tackle and then another one late in the game. But up front, Brandon Cablano, Isaiah Wynn, a couple of really nice blocks for Carolina that was just able to shoot into the backfield of Georgia and disrupt that from the get-go.
John Atkins, the nose man, offset at fullback. They hand it to Chubb. He darts in there, thinks he sees some daylight. That's a touchdown. He saw some daylight and broke the play to the goal line and scored.
Well, it wasn't easy, but just the will to get into the end zone there by Nick Chubb. Like you said, found a little bit of daylight and then just strength of Nick Chubb found pay dirt for us.
Boy, looking at a replay, I don't know how he got in there. There was just a pile of bodies at the line of scrimmage just stacking up.
3rd and goal. They bring in the jumbo package with Atkins as a fullback, and this time he is in. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. Now they're pushing and shoving going on at the end, but the officials separate them.
Snap to Eason. Back on the 42. He's got time. He's looking. Now he throws it over the middle, and it's caught at the 45. Chubb's off to the races. Chubb 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. All the way down the near hash for the score.
You think he's back and healthy, Scott? He caught that one and a couple of guys in
He pulled away, didn't he?
pretty close range to him. And he was off to the race. No question about it, but they right now are dominating the football game.
2 receivers to the right, tight ends in tight to the left. McKenzie in motion across the formation, hand it to Chubb. Touchdown! 3.5-yard burst at right guard and right tackle. He jumps into the arms of Greg Pike, who pumps his fists in the end zone. Pike with a key block to open up that hole for Nick Chubb, who scores to make it a 23-14 Georgia lead.
Just a play that's a little counter play. It was going off, tackle to the left. We collapsed the line with Gilliard, and as you said, Scott, Greg Pike that just...
First half, they made some halftime adjustments, and you're seeing it right here. Chubb got going.
You know what I love? Nick Chubb did a self-evaluation. He said, I need another year to come back from this injury. I need
Bringing some bigger bodies in if they have any. Handoff Chubb. He darts to the left. He pushes his way in. And let's see. Yeah, touchdown.
Boy, great run right there by Chubb. Again, wait.
Dogs I formation, handoff, Chubb. He cuts at the 6, to the 5, to the 4, and into the end zone. Touchdown.
Boy, what a great sign that is. Third and a long.
Exactly where he wants to for the big game. Chubb busting outside. Chubb finds a lane down the far sideline. Touchdown, Georgia. 32 yards for the senior.
Nick Chubb, they want to see him making plays like this. You see initially nothing's there, but Nick Chubb just does something you can't teach. Takes it outside, bounces it for a big play, makes a guy.
And now slides back to the left edge. Handoff, Chubb with Payne blocking. Starts straight, banks out to the left. He's headed for the end zone, folks. Touchdown in the left corner.
Tremendous vision by Nick Chubb on that one. Got up into the line of scrimmage, had some good blocking. Solomon Kinley, nice block there, and he cut right behind him, actually. I'm not even sure how he saw the gap to the outside. It looked like a mass of bodies, and then just parted like the Red Sea, and he took from where the play was designed. Would have taken some great vision. We get the benefit of looking at it on replay here, but had a nice little hole to the backside.
Ben Cleveland in at right tackle now as Thomas came out. I formation, toss to the left. Chubb jumps over a body, bounces off at the 5. He's going to score. Touchdown. He bounced out left. A guy tried to tackle him. He just ran over him, bumped off him, and got into the end zone for 6 more.
Well, I have no idea how Nick Chubb stayed up on that play. At the start of the play, looked like he had absolutely nowhere to go. Somehow finds a little bit of a hole. Nice block by Christian Payne. And then he's hopping on one leg and keeps his balance to get into the end zone.
He bounced off Lashard Durr.
For you that, you're right. That would have been a 2 or 3 yard loss. Somehow gets to a yard from the first down.
Dogs go wild dog with Chubb. They snap it. They run to the near side. He's got blocks. 25, 20, to the house. 5, touchdown, baby.
Boy, just a massive hole opened up to the left. You could just see it open and part like the Red Sea, and Chubb just shot like a bullet through it. That's the way to answer coming out of halftime, Dogs.
Wow, offensive line getting it done tonight. Everybody blocking. I mean, they had a full house back there. Chubb in the wild. Second down and short for Georgia. Fromm with the snap, hands it to Chubb. Chubb's into the secondary, shreds a tackle at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown for Nick Chubb, and the Dogs are on the board first.
It was 3 plays in a row, exactly the same play. Chaney saw a weakness, kept attacking it, and went no huddle, so there could be no adjustment there at all. The up-tempo was fantastic. Great job of recognition by Chaney to get his team in a spot where he knew he had an advantage. And just a nice little stiff arm on him, then wisely getting out of bounds.
Chubb has it, big hole, easy into the end zone, touchdown for Nick Chubb. Huge hole on the right side, my goodness.
Boy, right behind Andrew Thomas and Solomon Kinley, you're right. Could have driven a truck through that hole, and then it was just a waltz into the end zone.
Chubb with his second score today as he approaches 100 yards, and Jay Black tells me that puts Nick over 4,000.
That was the hot route, hot receiver on that play. As soon as he was able to get it out of his hands and into Swift's hands, a lot of green grass, and then a great individual effort.
Polite made the tackle after a 40-yard gain down to the Gators 6. A first down brought to you by Scana Energy. We run it with Chubb, straight ahead running, and he will drive into the end zone, right up the hash mark. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. He was pushed in there with his lineman, and the Dogs are on the board first. It's 6-0.
Boy, that's taking care of business right there. Probably the best thing that you see is no big celebration by the Dogs. Get into the end zone, flip the ball to the referee, get over to the sideline, just taking care of business like usual.
Lamont Gilliard got behind Chubb when he ran into some traffic around the 2, and Big Lamont just pushed him right into the end zone across the goal line. That touchdown brought 2 tight ends set. Chubb is in the backfield, and big Solomon Kinley is in the backfield, and Payne is in the backfield. We go wild dog, snap it to Chubb. He drives straight ahead. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. He powered his way into the end zone with some beef in front of him.
Boy, a ton of beef up front. You're right. Fromm was initially in the backfield. He motioned out, and then you had big Solomon Kinley leading the way, and then Nick Chubb got hit pretty good, powered his way, though, into the end zone.
Cleveland was in there. Payne was in there. Kinley was in there. We had 2 tight ends. You talk about a 1. Scoreless ball game, first quarter, 6:04 to go on the clock. I formation. Christian Payne, the fullback. Chubb, the tailback. Man in motion is the tight end Blazevich to the left. Handoff Chubb. He hesitates and then glides into the end zone. A couple of high steps. They knock him down in the end zone. It's a touchdown, Georgia. The Dogs on the board first with Nick Chubb's 1-yard score.
Yeah, just too easy there for the Dogs. Right over the back of Kendall Baker and Lamont Gilliard. And a little hesitation there by Nick Chubb, and then waltzes into the end zone.
Touchdown number 13 of the year for the senior from Cedartown. Hardman, the Dogs defense, holding Oklahoma to a 3-and-out for the second time in the game. Dogs offense trying to go to work here to tighten up a 31-17 score. Oklahoma in front by 2 touchdowns over the Dogs. Fromm under center will stretch handoff to Chubb. Chubb at right tackle breaks one sack, breaks another one. Now he's in the open. 40, 30, near sideline. Chubb, touchdown!
Boy, how about that for answering the call? Defense 3-and-out. Then Nick Chubb, just a simple off tackle, fought through what looked like 3 or 4 tackles, found his way into the secondary, and then turns on the Jets and nobody can catch him. That's a way to step up, Bulldogs.
You said in the break, run the football.
That's what I said.
That's what Chubb just did. Stripping through tacklers and ripping off 50 yards for a score. As Rodrigo Blankenship will try to make it. It'll be first down there, goal to go. 45-38 is our score. Oklahoma leading Georgia by 7. Dogs ball on the Sooners 2 with 60 ticks to play in the Rose Bowl.
Dogs very composed right now. Still a couple of timeouts, so they've got the entire playbook.
We flip-flop guys all over the place. Now we're going to go wild dog with Chubb. Direct snap to Nick. He runs to the right, tries to cut upfield. Touchdown! 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 Chubb! We went wild dog. They snapped it right to 27. And the senior from Cedartown went right, cut up at the 2, and into the end zone for the score. We're a point away from tying this sucker.
Boy, great patience there by Nick Chubb. Looked like nothing was there initially. He's able to stretch that play out until he finally finds a crease and then just walks into the end zone untouched.
Rodrigo Blankenship to knot it at 45 with the extra point attempt. Fricks to snap. Nizelek to hold. Rodrigo to kick it. There's the snap and the hold. The kick is in the air. It is good. We're tied. 45-45.
I thought I knew